Alright, so to get this done, I first need to measure the space we have inside this area for our cooling systems. So I'm going to get busy on that. Let's do it. Alright guys, so I've had an issue with the SD card, so I've swapped to the GoPro. So hopefully we don't have any more issues. Effectively what I've done is I've measured a whole bunch of points from the front bumper to the engine, and that is basically for our cooling system, so that I can design up some brackets and make sure we can still fit, because this thing has got to come out now. So I'm going to jump on that, pull this out, and then we are going to put it on the stand and take it apart. Finally. So we got to get this engine stand bracket on. Now we've got a lot to do on this car, and not the longest time as usual. As I always say, we bag and tag everything. So we've got our bags, we have our marker, be prepared. We have boxes, there's more on the floor. The important thing is to stay organized when you do this, so that you don't have issues when you have to put it all back together. And I've had a lot of that recently, so even though we've bagged and tagged anyway. So alright, so the next thing is we are basically going to start stripping this thing down. So let's just get off these ram tubes. And one of the things we're going to have to do on the intake manifold, this throttle body is a 45mm throttle body. So this is from a South African version blacktop Toyota 20 valve RXI or 4AGE 20 valve. So the difference between the black top and the silver top is that the silver top butterfly diameter is 43mm and the black top is 45mm. So I've managed to get a hold of some 45s, and that's also going to help the flow. Believe it or not, that'll make a difference. So the difference on the throttle body to the manifold is also, there's a difference there. Let me get the camera and show you. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about. If I open the butterfly, inside you can see that there is a little step there. There's a little step, you can see the shiny part of the aluminium there. So that step is the difference between the silver top and the black top throttle bodies. So yep, what we're going to have to do at a later point is we're going to have to basically port out that manifold to get rid of that step, but that's for later. What we're doing now is we just need to strip this bad boy down. I have a tool trolley here. Keep all the tools in the tool trolley, and that way you don't waste time going up and down. Alright, take the throttle bodies off. I'm taking this intake manifold off because of the porting we're going to have to do. It's always so pretty. Alright, let's start at the top with the valve cover. There goes the valve cover. Alrighty. Oh, such a beautiful engine. I love these engines, man. Valve train looks dry. That's not good. I mean, just dry that it's been sitting for so long, but I ran an ethanol mix last time, 50-50 ethanol. And yes, I just don't like ethanol because it's so corrosive. It's not as corrosive as nitro, but still quite corrosive. Interesting thing about this head is it was sitting in a junkyard. It wasn't actually in a junkyard, it was in a shack in the middle of nowhere, busy dying. And we saved it. It had bent valves and whatever, but yeah, we managed to save the engine. Right, let's turn it over to TDC. So that's TDC. Goal is take off front covers. Timing chain must come off, head's got to come off. Timing chain tensioner. Oh, it's the thing I don't like about ethanol. You won't see, but like there's little bits of moisture in the oil. And that's what you get with ethanol. Freaking hate it. Not a fan. So we're not going to run ethanol. And I mean that was 50-50 mix with 95. So we are not running ethanol again. We're going to run race fuel. There's a good supplier within the BMW club, good pricing, and yeah, we'll be using them. See everywhere in the bolts. That off. So let's pull this front cover off. We've got to take the water pump off. We also need to get a thermostat because this car ran really cool. It didn't even get up to operating temperature when I tested it properly under load, and we picked up the oil surge. So this engine hasn't really run. At least we know it's good. The pistons aren't coming out unless I see some issue now, so we won't be using that. But we are going to get another thermostat. Hello. We take it off anyways. Onwards. Check that. Now the way you get these off is there is a little bolt here at the top. You can use one of the longer bolts and you screw this puppy in, and that kind of helps push out the water. Look at that. Let's get a catch tray. I have limited time today, but I have to get this stuff done. So now we have to take this crank pulley off. Now, I think we're going to have to turn this engine over. The reason we have to turn it over is to take the sump off so we can jam the crank. Speaking of the sump, the new sump is in detail design. We made quite a lot of changes and I will share the revised design with you just to kind of give you an update on whoever's interested in purchasing it. Like I said, I am going to be selling it as a kit and there has been interest, so I will update you guys on where we are with that. Ooh, oh, lose a mind. Let's get this belt off. Okay, so that's the front end of this assembly off. Where that came from. Okay, nice. Look at this. Very nicely machined by my friend Robert. Excellent work. Excellent work. Another beautifully machined component. Right, so that leaves us with this crank bolt, which I think is a 22. That's very tight. Oh, there we go. It's a very serious bolt. Beautiful. Right, this famous front cover. And we have one Rogue 10. Oh, and one more 13. There we go. Okay, let's take this front gasket off, get new gaskets. Let's take the timing chain off. Okay, so we'll keep that separate. That's all the bottom timing chain stuff. Front cover, that's fine. I'm just bagging and tagging everything in the background here. Bag them separately, like I say. Look it back on. I'll check orientation and all that when we go to reassemble. For now, it's really just about getting this puppy apart, so we can start the next step in the process. What I'm going to do is back off the cams. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Anything there? Any others? No. It's not like an M54 or an M52 impact. Right. Onwards to the front cover. There we go. There we go. Right, so the whole point of this exercise was for this, so I'm gonna have to get a new one anyways. Okay. There we go. Brand new M42 oil pump that I managed to get. Oil pump gears rather. There we go. So these bad boys are going to not go back in. And what's going to happen here? Nothing. We're going to take out this pressure relief valve and nothing will go back in here. Why? Because the standard pump scavenges through this section here. So as the pump turns, it basically sucks up oil, goes into the gears, then gets pressurized through the gears and gets pumped into this oil gallery, then goes up into the filter, comes through the filter and goes into this section, which goes into the engine. So now this pump is going to basically suck up oil, put it in the tank, then it'll suck oil from the tank and pump it straight into here, this line, which then goes straight into here, into the engine. So we are not using this at all. So if I didn't take this out, this would be dry, and basically this pump, the gears would just eat up this aluminium and you get a bunch of crap falling in the oil. So that's no longer necessary, as well as this pressure relief valve. So let's get that out. Now I'm sure if I persisted with that sump, I could have made it work, but I was at a point where I did not want to. I was done. So all of that we are not going to use. Let's get the plunger out. There we go. It's plastic, that's why it won't come out with a magnet. But there we go. So all of that we will not use. That's going to go back. Alright guys, that's going to be a wrap for this episode. So we kind of went through everything. The main thing was to get the oil pump guts stripped out. From here I'm just going to take the crank out, put the crank, the front pulley and the flywheel together, and send that off for balancing. So in the next episode, we're probably going to start assembling this thing again to get it back in the car. And yeah, like I say, all of this stuff is not going to be used anymore. So we save a bit of weight there, but we picked up weight on the dry sump setup. Doesn't matter. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Ciao.